What is up, everybody? It's Zachary Reality, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. And we are so happy to be joined today with the winner of the Anonymous, Nina. How are you?
I'm so good as anyone can be waking up on this beautiful day after an amazing win on the Anonymous.
I have to say, congratulations. There were so many great competitors. I felt like it could have gone so many different ways. So it's not that I was surprised. I just like did not know who was going to win, and especially with such wins in your family. I mean, you must be so proud and really be patting yourself on the back today.
I'm over the moon. There is so much that can come the weight of knowing who you're related to, that people are always going to bring it up, and rightfully so, to be able to say, hey, let's not worry about that. Let's be confident. Let's do what you know you can do. So to have that actually come to fruition, have other people see it and come along that journey with me, I'm so grateful and thankful for the Anonymous.
Yeah, and fans might recognize you from Survivor Australia. You did play with your mom, and you ended up voting her out of that, but this was your first game by yourself. Do you think it was always in your blood to do reality TV and follow in your mom's footsteps?
It was always in my blood because it's something that I naturally, honestly think my characteristics. We're both two different individuals. We do approach things completely different. But there's also this natural side. You know, when you're watching competition shows, you're like, man, that person has something there. I always find me on the social side, I have it. As I've gotten older, that strategic side has grown because, you got to maneuver through life, and then also doing that research. I mean, I studied body language a little bit before I went on Survivor. And then I said, you know what? That was really useful. Let me dive into that even more before the Anonymous. And thank goodness I did. That's something that I know I'm so happy I did, and that I knew I had something to bring to the Anonymous.
Hmm. As far as Survivor and the Anonymous, how do you think the games are different, and why do you think you were able to thrive so much on this show versus Survivor when you didn't win that show?
Yeah, so I think something that's different is the social aspect, right? We are talking in person, but you can't divulge everything because I can't tell you who I voted for or what I did and build relationships that way through honesty and facts. I put that little squiggle at the bottom of their name. That was me. So now I have to build relationships off of just connection and communication. And I am a naturally charismatic person. I love other people, and a lot of people can feel that from me. And so I really was able to hone in on that natural characteristic of my own and build these relationships that I almost feel like can sometimes be a little bit stronger than on Survivor because you have nothing else to go off of but me. There is
Mhm.
no votes or anything like that that you can use.
Hmm. And speaking of other people, I want to know who are some of your closest allies in the house. Who do you think really helped you get to the end of this game? And who do you think were your biggest competitors that you always felt yourself kind of butting heads with?
Yeah, so throughout the game, I would say it changed. It really started with Jack and Andy. They were the first people I had really strong strategic chats with. Then it went into Dylan. He was like, all right, let's get something going here. But we actually bonded naturally, which I really, really appreciated. And then as time went on and certain people left, my bond with Marcel surprisingly actually grew, and then stayed really strong with Andy as other individuals ended up leaving. I will say I never actually butted heads with anyone. There were certain players that strategically I didn't bond with, or socially I didn't bond with. I had a relationship with everyone. It's just which way
Hmm.
depended. So I didn't butt heads with anyone. I knew in this game that not everybody's going to get along, but I'm going to get along with everyone. I don't care how or why or when or where.
Hmm. Now, as far as like the rules of the Anonymous, it's the first season of a show. You really don't know your twists and turns. How did you kind of adapt to playing this game with so much unknown?
I never set expectations or thought anything would happen with 100% certainty. That's where I know as a person, I cannot do that or it will throw me off completely. What I knew is as long as I had relationships, as long as I was communicating and didn't get stagnant or got held up on any one thing that happened, I would always be moving forward. And that means another day in the game. That means another conversation, another relationship that can develop. That was something that I knew as long as I kept doing that, no matter what, because none of us knew what we were really getting into. You get a concept and kind of an understanding after looking at the rules, but things are always going to change, and I'm going to change with it.
And there's obviously a lot of chance in this show. There's a lot of luck, especially in those face-offs. But what we saw last night as the finale, you were actually able to make your own decision because you weren't put up first. You read Andy's body language, which went back to what you were saying, and then you convinced Marcel not to pick you. What is going through your mind during those final few moments, and how do you think you were able to bring it home?
There are moments in reality competition shows where luck is a factor. But if you're not actually paying attention, luck is always going to be a factor. I didn't come here to win because I got lucky. I came here to win because I did it. I
Mhm.
paid attention and I made a decision. That other time that I got at risk and then it turned into safety, half luck, half intentional. I used my body language to get somebody else to take the box from me to give me another opportunity. And
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure there might be moments that I'm going to be lucky, but I'm going to turn those into real decision making things that I can use later on, experiences, I should say. And it worked because I went into that final face off and I said, thank goodness I was paying attention because I
Mhm.
was in a face off with each and every one of these people. I also know going first is not it. And
Mhm.
going last for me as a person is not going to be it. I
Mhm.
need to be third because I can steal two people's boxes. I can watch two people for, a decent amount of time while we're having discussions. I can also make sure that if my box can be stolen, it can only be stolen but once.
Mhm. Were you ever worried that maybe Andy in that moment would have like gave it away for Marcel to steal it from you? Was that going through your mind?
I was very worried that it would be brought up that I had the winning box because Andy knew.
Hmm.
I also knew that myself and Marcel had had multiple discussions about the finale, and he is a master manipulator when it came to words, and that I wouldn't back down. If
Hmm.
somebody's going to come at me, I'm going to be ready to go. If they don't come at me, I'm going to do my best to kind of diverge all the conversation to these two other individuals. If you look back, you actually see me constantly looking to the side because I'm not worried about what's right here. I'm trying to get you to look
Hmm.
this way because I'm thinking, oh, I don't have the box. Let me look this way. Let me look that way.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I don't know who has it, but it ain't me. So look at them.
Yeah, that's so smart. Now, for anyone that might have missed it, you did end up winning $80,000 when the original prize was 100,000. Can you kind of clear that up for someone who might have blinked?
Yeah, so going into the anonymous, it's kind of like the traders, or a lot like the traders, there's a pot. It gets
Hmm.
built up over time. Unfortunately, there were times where certain individuals did not contribute much, or the challenge was really hard, like the math one, where a lot of us just could not get it, but a handful did, which I appreciate them. Thank you so much for that little bit of money. So yeah, it was a pot that got built up and it could be up to 100K. Of course, we didn't get there. I wish Danny was generous enough to throw in an extra 20K, but I know that's a huge ask. So we ended up with 80.
Hmm. And what does the 80,000 mean to you, your family, and what do you do for work and everything? Like, how is this going to change your life, and what are some of your goals outside of reality TV?
Yeah, so some of my goals and what I want to do is be very responsible. We all know in the reality TV show space, a lot of people can be really irresponsible, and a year from now, there's nothing left.
Hmm.
That's not going to be me. I want to invest. I want to make sure that I am currently in a rental home. I want to purchase a home. We all know that that market is absolutely insane right now. So this is going to be really helpful for me to establish my life moving forward and the family that I hope to grow and have. And it just means the world. It's that, you don't get a trophy for being on
Hmm.
the anonymous. You get some money. So to
Hmm.
see that come into the bank account is just like this prize, this award. It's my version of the gold medal.
Yeah. Well, take yourself out to eat and have a good time celebrating. Congratulations on your win. Before I let you go, is there one favorite moment you had during this season of The Anonymous, or just something you really took away that you want to leave the viewers with?
Yeah, my favorite moment for me was dropping my little C's off to Dylan, my close ally, about Christopher, and just watching the garden grow in front of us. And that caused a lot of chaos. That was
Mhm.
very useful for my game. And yeah, timing is everything for me. And I have a green thumb, so I love planting seeds.
I love it. Well, it was so nice to meet you. I loved watching you on the show. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. Where could everybody find you and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at Nina underscore untwined. And
Mhm.
that's where I mainly stay.
I love it. All right, bye. And thank you all so much for listening. Take care.